Maybe you were just afraid to hear the answer. You were afraid to find out that everything had been going wrong for a long time. But now it doesn't matter. Everything you could have done has been done. And although you are shocked, you are still trying to understand why he did it. All of your thoughts and memories, all of your hopes and dreams are coming crashing down on you. You realize that this is not just a mistake, and it's not just a crime. This is a system, and you have become a part of it without even noticing. All these years you have been giving him your money, believing that he was building a better future for you. But now you see the true thing, it was all part of a big manipulation. Your dreams of a carefree old age, of traveling, of a life without worries, all of this is falling apart. You feel a dark cloud of uncertainty falling over you. Is there any way to get out of this chaos? Is it possible to find a way back to what you have lost? Time is running out. Your savings, your plans, all of this is disappearing, and you have to look for answers to questions that you are not ready to hear the truth. Your financial stability is crumbling, and all that's left are the scraps of hope you've been trying to gather up to this point. There is only one thing left: a choice. How do you decide? Continue to fight to at least partially restore what has been lost, or leave it all behind and start from scratch. You feel the fog clearing, but instead of clarity, there are only more questions around you. Your soul longs for an answer, for justice. What happened? Why were you deceived? How did it all become possible? And, most importantly, how do you get out of this trap you've been dragged into? The search for answers has become the only goal burning in your heart. But what if the answer is the thing you fear most? Your family tries to comfort you, to encourage you not to give up. Children may feel your pain, but they still calmly offer their own solutions. Maybe we should go to a lawyer. The prosecutor's office can help. We can file a lawsuit. But these words sound like echoes in an empty space, because what can words do compared to the pain you feel? You don't just need words, you need results. So you're deciding it's not just a matter of money, it's a matter of your dignity. You don't just want your savings back, you want justice. And this decision changes everything. You are no longer a passive observer, you are an active player. So you contact a lawyer who agrees to take your case. He carefully reviews all the documents and recognizes that this is not just a fraud, it is a classic financial crime. But the more you investigate, the more dark details are revealed. The financial advisor who was your friend turns out to be part of a bigger scheme involving organizations that specialize in manipulating the savings of the elderly. He is not alone, he is just a puppet in the hands of those who run these frauds. All these connections and contacts that you thought were normal turn out to be part of a complex network of fraudsters. You are surprised, but also disappointed. Your trust was such an easy target for these people. How did it happen that even your best efforts to protect yourself became part of a plan you didn't know about? How did it happen that you, a person who has worked and saved all your life, now have to fight for your rights? But this is not the end. You are not alone. You meet other people like you, people who have been deceived, betrayed, and left with nothing. And although this does not soothe your pain, you feel that it at least gives you a chance to find a way out. These people decide to fight together with you. They will help you, and you will help them. And maybe this is the only thing that makes sense in this whole situation. And then, a few days later, you receive new information. It turns out that the financial advisor's other clients are also starting to contact law enforcement. Various details that previously seemed unimportant are now becoming clues to the story. Other victims are trying to rebuild their finances, filing lawsuits, and together you decide that this crime cannot be allowed to go unchallenged. Your fight will not be easy, but now you have a purpose. You are not alone. And it seems that you are getting closer to the answers you have been looking for. You can feel the hope coming over you. Your goal is no longer just to get your money back, and now it is to stop those who try to take advantage of older people. And maybe right now, at this moment, you will find answers to all your questions. But what's next for you? How far are you willing to go to achieve justice? You sit in your old armchair where you used to spend evenings with your family and look at the walls that remember every joy and every sadness. But today everything has changed. Your home, the place where you dreamed of living your last years, no longer belongs to you. Your children sold it without your permission. This is a shock. How did this happen? You cannot believe your eyes. Your trust in them was boundless. You always thought that they would be there for you, support you in difficult times, help you whenever you needed it. You gave them your best love, support, and education. But what happened now? How could they do this? Do they really think this is the best thing for you? It came as a shock not only to you, but also to yourself. You started asking them questions, trying to understand what happened. But the more you try, the more you feel like everything is spinning out of control. The children try to justify their actions, saying that it was for your own good, so that you can live without worries until old age takes you away. They tell you that they sold the house to raise money for your needs, to help you in this difficult time. But that doesn't make sense. How could you not be aware of this decision? Your anger and frustration are growing, but instead of talking to you honestly, they try to distance themselves from the problem. They don't understand why you are so upset. And you feel more and more that you were not given a choice, that you were deprived of the right to make decisions about your own life. This is not just a house sale. This is a complete devaluation of your existence, your dreams, your memories, your connections to this place. This house was more than just a building for you. It was a part of your history, a part of your life, and now it doesn't exist. You try to look for logic in all of this. Ask yourself if it all really happened because of your financial difficulties. Weren't you too helpless to recognize that something was going wrong? And as you try to figure out what happened, you realize that it's not just financial problems, it's a matter of trust. Your children, with whom you have experienced so much joy, are no longer who you imagined them to be. Their reaction to your outrage is even more indifference. They try to convince you that it was the right decision, that you shouldn't hold on to the past. You begin to realize that they no longer see you as a person with rights, with your own beliefs. You are no longer important to them as a person. They act as if all this is just part of a strategy for the future. Your reality begins to change. Now, you have only an empty space where your home used to be. You feel that no one wants to listen to you. Now your children seem like strangers to you. Your struggle for justice does not stop, but every day brings new doubts. They say you shouldn't worry about the house. But for you it is not just a house. It is a part of your life, your past. And now you realize that there is nothing left for you but the irreversibility of the situation. You are left without a roof over your head. You have to find a new place for yourself, but will you ever be able to recover what you have lost? Or will you be able to get back even a small part of what has become a part of you? Your conversation with the children was only the beginning. What will happen next? Will this gap remain between you? Or will there be a chance for reconciliation? But the biggest question that remains is how you will live now, knowing that even those who were supposed to support, You have now become part of this betrayal. What lies ahead for you? Your hand cannot hold back the tears as you look at what is left of your future. You had all these years. You hoped that you would be able to enjoy your old age in peace, living in a home that was more than just a place to live. And now that house has been sold, and with it, everything you had planned for your final years. But your future was modest, but you believed that everything would be fine. A pension, some savings, and this house where you could make your memories. You seemed well prepared for this stage of life. But now everything is completely different. Your dream has crumbled like sand, and you don't know where to find a new footing. Every day you wake up, and it seems that everything around you is nothing but emptiness. Aluma, you can't help but think about how your children, with whom you have lived for so many years, have taken away everything that should have been your protection without any warning. They no longer believe in your plans, do not respect your beliefs, and have not even explained why this happened. But the problem is not just about selling the house. The loss of this roof over your head has become a symbol of a much greater loss, the loss of control over your life. It's not just property. It's part of your self-respect, your dignity. And now it seems to you that everything you have achieved has been destroyed by one tough decision that you could not even foresee. Is there any way to regain control of your life? Will you ever be able to regain at least some of what you've lost? You try to find an answer, but your mind only races with more questions. How do you go on with your life? How do you restore your faith in people when even your own children have betrayed you? But one day, as you sit in a small room trying to find some hope, a phone call changes everything. It's not your children. It is one of your former neighbors who tells you that another family has bought your house. They didn't just buy it. They want to do everything they can to give you a chance to come back. This news is like a bolt from the blue. You can't believe your ears. How is this possible? Someone is trying to give you back what you have lost. This is another sign that your life is not over, that there is a chance for recovery. With all this hope for a new opportunity, you start looking for ways to get your home back. However, the system stands in the way, and it seems as confusing and unfriendly as ever. A bureaucracy, complicated paperwork, and numerous obstacles all become part of your new, lost future. You try to find answers, but most people you talk to have no solutions for you. Despite the difficulties, you still feel that at least all is not lost. This phone call is a sign there is still a chance to get your strength back. But how much further do you have to go to regain what you have lost? And here you are again at a crossroads. On the one hand, there is an attempt to regain everything you had, and on the other hand, there is a reality that makes you doubt all your hopes. Is it worth continuing the fight? Will it really be possible? Isn't it better to stop this fight and accept the loss? Is there any life after all this? What's next? You are standing on the threshold of your former home, which now belongs to strangers. It seems that your legs can no longer bear the weight of all this grief. You were ready to leave this house, but you never thought it would happen like this. Is this really your new real world? A world without protection, without the place that was once your home. Now you are standing on the street, looking at the house where you used to be comfortable. Fear, anxiety, and even despair overwhelm you. How did you end up here? How did it happen that this roof you lived under for so many years no longer exists for you? After you found out that your house was sold without your permission, all your plans fell apart. You are trying to figure out how you can regain your rights, but every step you take only complicates the situation. Your trust in your children has begun to crumble. They are trying to convince you they did it for your own good, but you feel that this is not just a house sale. This is a betrayal. And now you have to face the reality you have nothing. No roof over your head, no warmth and comfort you felt in that house. Is there any way to get back at least something of what you have lost? The first days without a home are a real challenge. You start to feel every moment when you lack a sense of security. The space where you could relax, where every room was a part of your life, now looks empty, non-existent. Your consciousness cannot accept this. How did you, a person who gave so many years to your family, end up in this situation? Days go by and you look for a way out. But life seems so cruel to you, so unprotected. All your attempts to contact the legal authorities have failed. You realize that in this world, even if you are an honest person, you cannot always count on support. Everything seems so bizarre and hopeless. But no matter how hard it is, you are not ready to give up. You know that your life cannot end like this. If you can't get your home back, at least try to find a new meaning in your situation. What is left for you? Your hope is what keeps you afloat. You start looking for opportunities. At first, it was just small things as asking for help from charitable organizations, looking for temporary shelter. But every day you discover new ways, new perspectives. Your inner strength begins to revive. And then the first ray of light appears on the horizon. You are in a new place, albeit temporarily, but you are no longer homeless. And although you realize that this path will not be easy, you are not ready to give up. Now you have a chance to build a new life, a new future. You do not know where this path will lead you, but you feel that your struggle is not over. However, the question remains, will you really be able to find your place in the world when you no longer have a home? Will you find at least a piece of the peace and joy that your home once brought? And what about your children? Will they ever understand the depth of what you have lost? Every day is like a test. You wake up thinking that you will never forget how your family abandoned you to a cruel world, taking everything that was yours. But, on the other hand, there is a part of you that says, maybe there is still a chance for reconciliation. But is it worth forgiving those who have caused you so much pain? Wouldn't that be another defeat? Another opportunity for betrayal? That phone call from your children does not give you peace. They are asking you to forgive them for their actions, but you find it difficult to accept their words. Can you just forgive them? And does it make sense? True forgiveness is not just a word, it is a decision. And it's a decision you have to make. But you are not ready for it yet. Your emotions are mixed up like a storm in your heart. Your soul wants to let go of this pain, but it is held by accusations and anger. How can you forgive them? How can you forgive those who have taken from you not just material things, but a part of your dignity, your love for your family? The desire to punish them seems stronger than anything else. And this is the moment when you are really angry. Angry at them, angry at the whole world, which is unable to answer your questions. Why do you have to suffer? Why did they get everything that was yours and leave you on the street? This is not just an insult. This is a betrayal that weighs more than any material value. And then you make a decision. You gather all your strength to find a way to take revenge. You plan not only to take back everything that was taken from you, but also to strike a blow that will leave a mark on their hearts. It's not just a desire for justice, it's an inner need to restore your sense of power that they took away. And you know it will be hard, but you can't live in the shadow of that pain anymore. But when you are ready for this step, when the understanding of your revenge already fills your heart, something changes. It's not betrayal, It's the realization that no matter how much you hated them, you don't want to become like them. You have already experienced pain, and you want to find another way. But what is this path? How do you find the strength to let go of that pain and allow yourself not to destroy your life for revenge? And then a new twist awaits you. An unexpected meeting with one of your old friends who has known you and your story for a long time. He warns you against revenge, emphasizing that you cannot leave your soul halfway between pain and evil. A true strength is not in the desire for revenge. True strength is in the ability to forgive, and no matter how hard it is for you to accept, you begin to realize that revenge can destroy you, but forgiveness is the path to freedom. What should you do next? Will you really be able to find the strength to forgive those who ruined your life? And is it worth it if your heart is still torn with pain? You are on the verge of making a decision that will change everything. But will you find the strength to let go and walk this path without pain? You are already on the edge. The life you have left is looking more and more like a black hole into which you are constantly falling. Every day is a new challenge. You are trying to find any way to restore your dignity, but it seems that the universe just doesn't want to let you do it. Your efforts to regain even a small part of what you have lost seem to be in vain. Until recently, you believed that you could change your life. It seems like there is a chance to start over, but even when you make the decision to forgive, the feeling of loss does not let you rest. You still feel that pain, that invisible wound that reminds you of your neglect at every turn. How can you just forget? Your hand is still holding the document that changed everything, the very contract you signed with your children. Your mind cannot comprehend how you could have been so wrong. Every signature, every promise it seems that they were all empty words smashed against the wall of your trust. And then the next shock, you get a call from your lawyer. His words are so ominous that you don't even want to believe things. What happened is not over yet. There is more to it than you knew. The real shock is not only the realization that your children have sold your house, but also the news that some of your former friends, whom you considered reliable, may be involved in this scam. How did this happen? How could you not see all these signs? All these years you thought there were certain people you could trust. However, they all left you in a difficult position. Were these people part of the plan? Was this whole situation organized before you signed that ill-fated contract? And worst of all, which of them is really to blame for your misfortune? Now you realize that the world you lived in is not what it seemed. It's not just a blow to your dignity, it's what you might call a real shock. New facts are revealed, and they are so painful that you can hardly accept them. Now you have not only lost your home, you have also lost the last of your illusions about truth and trust. But not all is lost. You see an opportunity to find the truth, to uncover what is behind this scam. And even if they want to drag you into the vortex of the takeover, you are not ready to give up so easily. Your inner voice says, fight to the end. You deserve more. You don't know what that will look like, but you're trying to find the answer to one question again. How did we get to this point? What should we do next? How should you act in this situation? All you want is to understand who is really behind all this. Will you find the real enemy, or will it all turn into another unknown tragedy in the end? And what will you do with what you have left? And is there a chance that all of this can be fixed, or are your dreams already destroyed forever?